There was two babies, and these two babies were both malnourished. They reminded me of babies that you would see in a third world country. Um, the first baby I saw had a huge head, distended stomach, but it had small arms that reminded me of an undeveloped, not a fetus that wasn't well developed. Put it that way. And this baby was struggling. It was weak. It was trying to lift its head up, and it was crying. I felt in my spirit that this baby was thirsty. The second baby I saw, it had a big head, distended stomach, very long arms, very long legs, but this baby had no genitalia, but it had an anus. The anus was high up on its back. The next thing I was shown was a man, and this man was in a really muddy trench, and the trench reminded me that of a maze. Um, it was this man was in the trench with a dog. The dog looked like it could have been either a Rottweiler or a Doberman. I just remember, it was brown and black, and the dog was licking the man, and the man was petting it. When the man got up to walk away from the dog began to cry. And so the man turned around to come back to the dog to console the dog, and the dog licked him. Then the man turned around again, and he took like 2 steps away from the dog, and then this man got down on all fours and walked around the corner in this trench. The next thing I saw were rhinoceroses, and they were rolling around, wallowing in muddy water. And the next scene I saw were these rhinoceroses, the same rhinoceroses, swimming in a cave, and there was a pool inside a cave. I take them out of the muddy water and I put them into the clean water, but that's not enough. They still want the mud. Okay. So the next scene that I was shown was an Asian woman. Okay. And this Asian woman had a huge bottle of liquor, and she was guzzling down the liquor. Across from her, I saw an elephant, and the elephant was whining, and this elephant was whining for the alcohol. So the Asian woman would give the elephant, the alcohol to keep it from whining, and then she would take back the drink and guzzle some more. And, every time she would do that, the elephant would whine, and she would give the elephant more to drink. While this was going on, there was droplets from the bottle, droplets of alcohol from the bottle, and the alcohol was falling into the bottle cap that was sitting on a table that they were standing nearby. And standing near the cap that was filling with alcohol was a man, and this man had to have been a foot high, and this man was drinking out of the cap. So the next scene that I saw, I was in the Vatican. I was at the Vatican. I was in this huge room, and there were a sea of people, and they were all sitting in these what looked like fold-out chairs. And in the front row, in the midst of them, was the Pope. hmm So Across from him, there was this platform, and I've seen this platform before. When he speaks, I've seen it in certain videos. He's standing on like this platform with like a couple of stairs, and then, you know, him and the cardinals will stand there and they're speaking before the crowd. This is what it looked like to me. And on this platform, before the Pope and the sea of people, I saw an Asian man and an Asian woman, and they were both dressed in gold. The Asian man had a golden suit on, and the Asian woman had a golden dress on. And the man, he spoke just a little bit, but this woman took over, and she began to speak. And the way that she spoke in an authoritative way, like she was commanding everyone to listen. I can't remember what she was saying, but I remember she was pointing as she was talking. She was commanding and demanding. And there I was standing between the sea of people and the Pope and this woman and man on the podium. And I remember I had a rolling pin and a white veil. And I took the white veil and I rolled it around the rolling pin. And I had it in my hands like this. And I walked over to her and handed her the rolling pin wrapped with the white veil wrapped around it. And she said, "Thank you." But I felt in my spirit that she wanted me to say, "You're welcome, Your Highness." But I didn't give her that acknowledgement. I was just handing her the rolling pin with the veil wrapped around it. After this, I turned and I walked through these double doors. As I was walking through the double doors, there was a building across from me, and I saw um, a bride and groom standing on these steps, well, at the top of the steps. And I knew in my spirit that they were practicing for their first dance. I remember going over to them and I complimented the bride on how beautiful her dress was. After that, there was something where someone I knew was dressed in a bridal gown as well, and I was very shocked to see that they were getting married. And they were coming down the steps and they were like, "Ooh, I have to go to the bathroom." They were about to enter the church where all the guests were waiting for the bride to come through. And I remember grabbing the person's arm and I said, "You can't go in there yet." And they were like, "Huh?" I said, "You can't go in there yet. You can't go to the bathroom in there." And I pointed in a different direction. I said, "You have to go here." It was to the right of me. I said, "You have to go here to use the bathroom. Then you can enter."